All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Great Teacher Onizuka, episode 33. Okay,
right.
Rumi Kanzaki is going to teach Miyabi a harsh lesson.
Yes, she is on the warpath.
Oh,
and
yes.
Onizuka has taken everything upon his shoulders, even going so far as to give away the Mercedes.
Yeah.
I'm sure the vice principal at least will be very happy that that is gone. But what's going to happen?
More car inferiority complex.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, at least for now. But
the anti-Cresta is gone.
Yes, we talked a little bit about how we were glad that the Mercedes was not a Deus Ex Machina to solve all the problems.
Right.
But we also talked about how it would be kind of interesting to see if there was some kind of domino effect
because of what
Onizuka's
Onizuka did.
actions ending up having some positive net benefit through Miyabi, aka Aizawa's father.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking forward to seeing if there's something with that. But I could see, if anything, this being drawn out a little bit longer, given that Rumi Kanzaki could actually slow down that whole process by taking more direct kind of offensive action.
Right.
And,
because Onizuka is still probably going to be the one that solves this.
Right. And right now, this is more them just kind of firing, broadsides at each other. Well, at least more Aizawa firing broadsides and Onizuka just, dodging.
Right. Yeah.
Miss me with that,
Sometimes successfully, sometimes
not so much,
Yeah.
So,
this is going to be crazy.
Let's go, y'all. Without further ado, let's get into this. This is reminding me actually of a dream I had recently,
Oh, yeah?
Where basically I had like a suit and tie and everything, and I was like, oh yeah, I look good, stuff. But suddenly the zombie apocalypse happened, and I was like running through this hallway in like this office building or whatever, but it was like eternally like long and wide, but not high, just one floor. And I realized this after a while, realizing I'd never seen a window, like no windows. So suddenly I had superpowers and I just jumped through the roof, right? And just like raised up into the air, and I'm just floating there.
Lonely.
But just the idea of like running around and like saving people and like beating up random people and stuff like that. Like
lonely.
Just like this, just it'd be like punching zombies and stuff.
Those dreams are the best.
They're amazing, right? That person is the only one who can make my heart hot. Love me, love me. Kiss me, kiss me. Nobody knows what means love, so do you know how love song goes on? It's weird seeing her smile. That
I did not think Kanzaki would attack this way. I thought she'd just go straight after the family. I guess this is way more fun for her.
Menacing. You could almost see like the menacing text floating over her eyes there. It's just like, oh no. Oh, here we go.
And Aizawa was not going to notice them?
Yeah.
What did you do?
We'll see.
She like put it on like her dad's company card or something.
I don't know. Oh, that's
the three of them.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's traumatizing.
Yeah.
This is going to be...
They're really playing dirty now.
Oh yeah. No way, they're gonna see them.
Probably.
Scaffolding. They'll just go up.
Yep. Otherwise, there's no reason for that guy to have binoculars.
Binoculars, yeah, exactly. He's like, there's a murder going on.
800万円全額みやびたちに作ってもらおうと思ってさ。一人に
She's gonna hold them hostage.
Wait.
あいつらの親なら身代金
No way.
Holy crap.
You've kidnapped them.
かしら。
Oh, wow.
That was not them.
Yeah. It's like, I feel bad for them.
Yeah. They have their phones. Oh, wow. And now she's gonna gloat and
Yeah.
have her.
合わせて6000万。そのうち鬼塚の背負った800万の借金分が
Wow.
Oh my god.
Holy
金銭
crap.
目的の誘拐ってや
She's taking
Kanzaki.
way
つ。
more.
あんたたちがまいた種だもんね。警察に訴えるわよ。
Whoa.
生きて戻ってこれたらの話だけど。
Jeez.
ただし
Wow.
私を怒らせたら怖いって地獄に落ちなよ。
Oh.
ちょっとどこっすか？どの部屋？
Crap. You know,
Oh, yeah,
Onizuka's
Onizuka's-
gonna save them.
Right, exactly.
Dang.
おい！いくらなんでも一応クラスメートだぞ。
これで800万は手に入るし、みやびたちにもお仕置きできるし。
Wow.
俺は降りるぜ。
Yeah.
菊池。
They're like, no.
Smart, smart. This is intense, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, dang. They were not given any, like, limiting orders of,
Yeah.
like, don't hurt them or
I
anything.
guess not.
Holy crap.
鬼塚英吉22歳。
22 years old.
ああ、菊池か。
Oh, Kukushi's gonna have.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe that's actually part of Kanzaki's plan, is that she knew that they wouldn't go along with it, and they'd call Onizuka.
That would be like Kanzaki to. What, really good timing. Oh my god, he's gonna jump onto the Zeppelin.
That would be insane. But like,
He's the great teacher Onizuka. Watch this. With the rope and everything.
oh my god.
Oh my god, he's gonna do it.
But like the fact that the party was there,
Right.
near where Onizuka works and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It has to be Kanzaki's plan. Oh my god, he's gone.
電話番号と住所に間違いはないな。
助けてよ。誰か。
Wow.
お願い。
She was asking
Oh,
for Onizuka to
Yeah,
save
yeah, yeah, yeah.
はい、相沢です。
he got onto the blimp.
鬼塚。
Oh! Oh yeah! What? That animation! Oh my god! What a badass! Because he had to get some serious momentum to
Oh,
break
yeah,
that glass. That
uh-huh.
glass is thick. Oh my god.
ちょっと何寝てんのよ。助けに来たんでしょ。
Oh.
なんだこいつ。
Oh my god.
俺は見学に来ただけだぜ。一社会科教師としてよ。こら！このボクチンをよくもはめちゃったりしてくれたよな。いやあの制服パブにはすっかり騙されちゃったよ。そんな外道をよ。なんで俺が助けなきゃなんねんだ。
Dang.
仮にも私らの担任でしょ。生徒たち。
I love the kidnappers are just like, what is going on?
Yep.
おめえ。仕事なら5時半のチャイムでとっくに終了してんよ。
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! Oh!
困った時は
Yeah!
助けてください。
Uh-huh.
上司なめんのもいい加減にしろ。
Ah. He's like, oh crap.
何しやがんだよ。
We're in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah, I haven't finished my speech!
便利な時だけ先生先生。先生は教育要項に書いてねえことはしねえんだよ。このボケが。
なんで私がコリオバカ教師に頭下げなきゃなんないの。
なら好きにすれば。
Dang.
抜かしてんじゃねえ。
さあどうするんだみやび。入れねえのか。なあみやびちゃんよ。はっきり にしろよ。
She's
She's
terrified.
absolutely terrified. Oh yeah.
ごめんなさい。
歌詞にしとくぜ。
Whoa, whoa!
They're that fast.
Whoa! How did he get? What? I just hear the sounds. Waka!
ここで伸びてるやつも連れてけや。
Take that guy on the floor with you. The one he pulverized by going through the window. Rumi Kanzaki's like, Keikaku Dori.
鬼塚呼んだのあんたたちね。これで800万はパーよ。
Oh, no, this wasn't her
あ
plan.
と2日しかないのに。
So now they have no money.
大工作じゃない。
Whoa.
出張なんかじゃないって。どうせあの女と旅行行ってるって。違う。
Oh, dang.
私が何も知らないとでも思ってるの？もうこんな幸せ家族ごっこはたくさんよ。
Jeez.
大人なんてみんな見えとるそばっか。
よ、久しぶり。
藤吉。
Hey, Fujiyoshi.
先生に渡しといてくんねえか。俺が使い込んじまった金、きっちり責任取ってきたからって、これでいけんだろ。
Good boy.
林間学校。
Well.
随分と高いもんですね、学校の屋上。
Oh, the principal.
ここやめてマグロ漁船に乗ることになっても、どっちの方角にこの学校があるかぐらい覚えておこうと思う。
Nice.
Awesome.
理事長、これ一応渡しときます。最後クレイはビシッと教師らしく、けじめの取り方ってやつを教えてやりてんす。
期限
Oh.
は今日一日残ってるわよ。
Oh my gosh.
He is
Oh my gosh.
he is ecstatic. He's like, this day has come.
鬼塚先生は本日付で退職願いを出され、この学園を去った。
でも教頭のクレスタスクラップにしなかったっけ？
あれはサイドブレーキを知らなかっただけよ。
Oh, are they in the Cresta?
Are they in the
again?
Cresta?
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Don't worry about whose car this is. Nope, not the Cresta.
Oh, okay.
鬼塚先生はいらっしゃいますか？
Oh, good. The sun. The sun.
平松先生が鬼塚先生にすごく感謝してました。
Wow.
Dang.
やっと決心がつきました。
Awesome.
1年間マグロ漁船に乗ることになりました。
Wow.
Oh my
最
gosh.
近で金の方はなんとか。
帰ってきたわよベンツ。
Ah.
このままじゃ鬼塚インド洋
Oh no!
別れを惜しむみんなの声が聞こえる。ありがとうよみんな。
Wow.
He's gone.
Yeah. Wait. Kikuchi's standing up.
Yeah. Oh, Fitsuki.
Yeah, Yoshikawa.
Oh. They're like, we will always be remembered as the great teacher Onizuka.
Wait, is it turning around and coming back?
Yeah, Kikuchi's
Did
like,
Kikuchi or gonna like?
東京湾クルーズの船。
ah!
今度ここに帰ってくる。
Wow! 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 That's amazing.
What a twist! What a stupid twist! I love it. That was amazing.
That's okay.
That's
all
a
right.
Tokyo cruise boat. Like I think Kikuchi was looking at the boat and he's like calculating angles, dimensions.
He's like,
this boat
"That's
would
not-
not. This boat would
Yeah.
not be efficient at maneuvering the Indian Ocean
Right,
for
right,
tuna
yeah.
fishing. It's too high rise. Why is it so? Oh, it's a cruise boat. Gotcha.
Onizuka just wanted to enjoy himself a little
Yeah.
bit before he left.
Right.
Oh wow.
It might not have even cost him anything to get on the boat, really. Like, you know, just like,
But
barely
holy
anything.
crap.
Yeah.
Urumi, like, she really was out for blood.
I mean, she was going to do whatever it took.
Yeah. Like, where did she even find those guys?
She went on the dark web or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like,
What, she was just gonna pocket the extra 50? Or
I
was
think,
that gonna, like, pay
I think if
them,
anything, that
maybe?
was payment for them. Yeah.
Sure. Although if she skimmed, if she took some of it too.
maybe
Like,
she
we'll
took
split
2
it
million.
50-50, you know.
Oh, no. I think they would take about like 60-70%
Sure.
at least, because
But even if she took 25% for the, you know, being the fourth member, essentially, that would
right,
still
that would be
that would
what,
still
15?
be 15 million.
So 7 million getting pocketed.
Yeah.
She's just like,
In this 70,000, I'll just take that. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
What an episode, though.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Okay.
That was an intense episode.
I gotta
Just
say,
a bit.
this goes into my top 10 or top 5 episodes of Onizuka ever
Yeah.
so far. It's definitely not on the emotional wholesomeness side of things. I think most of the emotionally wholesome episodes go into my top 5 list.
Right.
But the thing about this episode was the lengths at which Onizuka and Kanzaki went in
Right.
order to make this all happen.
Yep.
And I gotta say, having Kanzaki, who we know to be a little bit socially and morally,
Yeah.
you know, just a little bit, you know, askew. She went there, and I gotta say, like, as far as Aizawa as a character, they did a couple things that I thought just were really, really good for her,
Yes.
and having us not only sympathize with her, but understand, I would say, a little bit
More of like where she's coming from.
Yeah, because she didn't immediately apologize.
Right.
So
And-
in her mind, the offense that teachers have done, that maybe adults also have done, now
Right,
that we brought up
exactly, and
whole thing in
that makes it
later
make
part.
way more sense, because there would have when she would talk about the student that left, I was like, okay, but there must have been some really strong connection to that student, and it must have been a really big grievance on the part of the teacher in order to warrant like a multiple year, just, you know, from here on out, we wage war against teachers. But the idea that it's also something at her home life, you know, with her parents and everything.
Yeah, we don't know if those are connected
but
necessarily.
probably,
I mean, okay, if it's connected,
like she seemed to say that it was just an adult's thing.
okay, if it's connected, then her dad cheated on their mom with the teacher from their elementary school.
Oh, like directly connected, not
I
just...
thought that's what you were insinuating.
No,
is that
I was
there
just
a direct
insinuating that
connection.
in Aizawa's mind, there was an equivocation, basically, that was made.
Oh, yes.
Between, you know, just adults in general, and then
Right.
teachers are the adults that she has to deal with on a regular basis.
That's
so...
just super indirect for me.
Uh-huh.
That I don't see that as even remotely directly connected in the
But if it's like
offense side of things,
because it was the teacher,
right? Because I see all that as basically the emotional stress that causes her to be the kind of personality that she is.
Sure.
The things in which she specifically has this vindictive, you know, just hatred for teachers. That's more of a specific scenario, I believe, caused from her past and stuff like that.
And what would be interesting with that is that because there's layers to it, just in the same way that they made progress here with Aizawa of actually just apologizing at all, and seeing that, you know, her friends were hoping Onizuka would come rescue them, right?
Yeah.
But it's not resolved, right? So she still has basically a journey that she's on, and she needs to go through, and Onizuka will, you know, be there for that and help her with all sorts of stuff. Not just potentially with the whole thing of her mistrust of teachers, but also the whole thing with her home life and whatnot, and helping her work through that, which would be really cool. And that makes me excited, because with how much they've built up Aizawa, of Aizawa being the character that we always wanted to see Onizuka, you know, handle as a challenge, right? The fact that it won't just be over in a single episode, right? But they'll be making incremental progress. I'm really glad they did
consistently.
that.
So the kidnapping was something that we did not see coming.
No.
It was something that went, I would say, into the okay, that's a bit too far category. But the fact that we thought for at least a good few minutes, wait a minute, Kanzaki's a genius.
Yep.
She did this by his work,
right,
and planned all this out. But then we forgot about, no, wait, the thing is that she's doing this to keep Onizuka at the school primarily.
Right.
She is also doing this to get basically her the fear of God, basically the fear of her, you know, because she is, you know, in her mind, I would say a little bit of a
she has a bit of a complex. Maybe.
She's a bit of a bit of some issues as well, but basically making Aizawa fear her again,
right?
And that I think definitely worked here,
Mm-hmm.
which they still will have to deal with at some point, you know, because
Yes.
Kanzaki did this.
Uh-huh.
And that's the other
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
The call was never made. They didn't call
Right, they didn't
Aizawa's
actually make
parents.
the demands. Or they did, and the mom picked up, but then they didn't actually have the conversation because...
Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure at some point they were like calling, and then the call was basically interrupted because of Onizuka or something.
Did they
like
hang
that.
up though?
That's yeah, it's a good question. I don't know.
What I'm asking is basically, does Aizawa's parents have any way of knowing about this without Aizawa
Sure.
telling them?
Right. Yeah. And
So do you, yes or no? Do you?
I don't think I
don't
wouldn't
think
think so
so.
for the purposes of the story, and Aizawa is way too proud to actually tell them about that kind of stuff, because the way they'll handle the thing with Aizawa's parents, I feel like it'll need to be something that is because of a choice on Aizawa's part, right?
Right.
And maybe there will be some help from Onizuka, but the idea that when it ends up being resolved and addressed, it's because Aizawa is ready to address it in a proper way, as opposed to just lashing out, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's funny because the fact that all this stuff happened with Onizuka and everything, and then she said, possibly for the first time, what she was feeling to her parents,
Yes.
even though it was in an outburst, right? She still said it.
Yep.
She still said it, because keeping that bottled up inside, that's not good.
Yeah.
So I just like that there's that correlation there, even though it's not necessarily causal. But yeah.
Yeah. So she apologized.
Mm-hmm.
She witnessed Onizuka save them.
Yep.
I don't think she sees Onizuka saving them as something that she can overlook. Basically, I think that that's going to basically she's going to have to reconcile that with her opinions of teachers. And what I could see actually being really interesting here is something along the lines of what Kanzaki changed with. Kanzaki didn't have her opinion of schooling necessarily changed. She had her opinion of how Onizuka could benefit the schooling experience.
Right.
And that's why I think she's so desperate to have Onizuka stay, is because for her,
That's the
she
only
finds
thing that
no
makes it
value.
worthwhile. Yeah.
She finds no value at the schooling process, maybe other than spending time with a couple of the people there.
Right.
Which I think
maybe talking to Kikuchi, you know.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of the environmental effect of basically spending time with them, is that she enjoys, people marveling at her abilities, and she likes having an audience, and she likes having these, regular folks to kind of be with her and stuff. And I think Aizawa is in the same boat. She has her little cohorts,
Right.
and yet they were, very, very much willing to. Well, no, that was the uniform club girl, the one who did the whole thing with the girls and their.
But even then,
stuff,
then it seems more like they're going along with Aizawa because they like doing this with Aizawa, not necessarily because they have the same crusade as her.
Aizawa, I think, needed to remind them recently. So Onizuka is not leaving.
Nope.
They're getting the money. The Mercedes was the thing that solved things there, but it was, I would say, primarily the fact that Onizuka trusted someone with this, which in most circumstances, according to this show, that would have been a scam. That's a very common, that sounds like a scam. And it's
and it was a scam because Aizawa told him to do all that stuff and everything, but the guy didn't want Onizuka to pay for it.
Right. Yeah.
Literally or figuratively.
Yeah. And it's just a beautiful episode to show how, the craziness of the students' actions and all this stuff can be basically overridden by the tenacious power of the great teacher Onizuka coming in to save the day and swinging from a rope on a zeppelin.
Right.
How
he got the rope on there and tied
that?
to there, and then how he did that whole thing, and the fact that it,
he got enough momentum to swing through the glass and shatter it in one of the most gorgeous set pieces of animation that Onizuka has ever had.
Because this show's old, but that was a lot of moving pieces there, and that was some pretty fluid movement.
Yeah, it was just eye-gawking, what?
And it was also very satisfying to see Aizawa say, "Get up." Even though
you came here to save us, didn't you?
Yeah, and even though it was absolutely selfish because she's wanting to be saved,
right?
still the idea that she still has belief in him,
Mm-hmm.
even if she doesn't necessarily have belief in his like intentions.
Yeah, it's kind of the old adage of basically like when someone's basically like crying out for help and they are about to die or something like that, you find out kind of what they believe in and who they are and stuff. In their final moments, people show you who they really are.
Yeah.
And Aizawa revealed herself to be a scared little girl who wanted her parents there to save her, and Onizuka, because I think she's heard the stories. I think she's
Right.
not. She can't ignore what Onizuka has done.
Exactly. It's one of those things where even though she wasn't, she was too proud to actually say it out loud
When he was there.
Well, yeah. Well, but even before, it was one of the other girls that actually said,
No, that was Aizawa. You mean that said, "Save us,
Mom,
save us."
Dad, yeah,
that was Aizawa.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was so impactful.
I thought for sure it was one of the other girls, and Aizawa was basically realizing that.
That could have been it.
But
you can go back and check real quick if you want.
But
yeah, do that. You keep talking. I'll check that and see what
but
is there.
The idea that basically she realizes that these actions are things that Onizuka does, even if she questions whether he truly does them selflessly or whether it's just like he does it because he can do it. But when it comes right down to it, push comes to shove, he'll still abandon them just like everyone else.
Sure.
But yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Okay.
So
yeah, okay. So I think Aizawa was noticing the brown-haired girl was.
So this is the thing that I actually assumed it to be Aizawa, because none of their mouths are moving. They're taped up, so it had to be Aizawa.
Okay, and if it is,
it's Aizawa in her head, basically.
Sure, and that adds some really cool. Like if you look at the details of that, when she wishes that Onizuka was there, she looks at the others, which is cool because it's basically showing that it is still something that is not entirely like selfish, right? Because of course she wants to be saved, right? She wants to be comforted and everything, but then
she wants them to be saved.
She wants them to be saved because she knows Onizuka would actually do that. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, the beautiful thing I thought about that was that Aizawa projects out this kind of strength and stuff, but when we were introduced to Arumi Kanzaki, we realized, oh my god, Aizawa is nowhere near the top of the totem pole in terms of like actual terrifying levels of power. No, Kanzaki is actually like a goddess of fear and manipulation.
Yeah,
but she was actually saved quicker. If anything, Kanzaki knew exactly what she needed to be saved.
Exactly. Yep.
And Onizuka addressed everything directly and by himself. And in a lot of ways, I think Aizawa can't help but look at all of these things, observe all these things. She's a part of the school, so she hears people talking about the things Onizuka has done, and
she sees her cohorts, converting
changing
allegiance.
sides. Exactly. The power of Onizuka's whoa, but like the undeniable word of God, and
that's right.
That I think actually unsettles her. That's something that in another way it settles in her, and she has to recognize that. So hearing how he fell off a roof with Yoshikawa saving him from killing himself, she's like
twice.
She's like, if anyone will save me, okay, fine, I'll Onizuka, please. And what do you know? But he comes in there swinging like a freaking
Tarzan
action hero, or what have you. Yeah. And then he does the thing of freaking out the kidnappers, and he goes over to her and he's like, I'm a teacher. I got off work at 5:30.
Yeah.
What are you expecting?
I'm off the clock. What are you talking about? Yeah.
I only do things that are in the education guidebook. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Basically demanding that she acknowledge, hey, if you want help from teachers, like if you want a teacher to be more than a teacher, like you have to be willing to at least acknowledge me as a teacher, as someone that can help you.
Yep.
And I like also that he's 22. Like he's gonna rub this in a little bit. So him crouching over me like,
smoke in her face.
You think I'm gonna help you? You lied to me. You set me up. You did that whole
you
thing.
Made
there.
my life hell.
Yeah. She's just like so that was great. I think that Arumi Kanzaki, she could have predicted all this. She didn't have to,
and it seemed that she didn't. Like the fact that she said, but the
money,
like that was like, oh, okay, cool. So because otherwise, if they hadn't done that, I would have just assumed that it's one of those things of like, leave it up to the audience, but we know what really happened.
Right. So yeah, I really liked this episode. I liked it that it continued beyond also Miyabi's just whole little section of the story here, and then getting into he's gonna quit. He's going to teach his students responsibility and taking responsibility for your actions. Now, the funny thing is that it had to have an Onizuka joke at the end of him being like, it's almost as if I can hear them calling my name, saying goodbye. That was amazing. And Kikuchi's little like, wait a minute. Yeah. that was fantastic. But seeing Fuyutsuki and Yoshikawa and even the Kanzaki and everyone, Kunio and crying, just like, no.
And Fuyutsuki being so freaked out that she gets in a car, and I'm not sure whose car that was supposed to be, because the part of me wonders if the vice principal was actually able to get another Cresta, so maybe that was still his other car, and it wasn't even a Cresta. It was just the car that the insurance company was willing to help him get. But and she's so worried about Onizuka. She's just, I got this, I know about the emergency brake, okay. Just immediately crashes it. Let's take the train.
She thought she had shifted it into reverse or whatever, but it stuttered and got into neutral, and then she
she's just or she just didn't put it into she put it into drive instead of reverse, and
I think
hit the gas pedal too hard because she was super nervous. I
think it would have been a stick shift, but the just the jokes being something that had us actually kind of worried. We were legitimately like, oh well, this is going to be about the legend of great teacher Onizuka now, and he'll go around doing his thing and teaching other people, but it won't be about the school for a while. Right, no, oh my gosh, nah, you can't defeat him.
Nope, that's right. I really did like, though, everything that they did with showing Aizawa's family, because
let's talk about that.
Because the thing is that everything that Aizawa does is very much territorial, right?
Sure.
And the way she treats Onizuka, even with all the evidence to the contrary, it's just, you're threatening my territory, right? And the fact that there's all this stuff happening at home makes it totally make sense why she's doing what she's doing, because she doesn't have territory at home, right? She locks herself in her room because that's the only place where she can, have some peace of mind, right?
Oh.
So then when she goes to school, of course she, tries to assert her dominance and everything, hence why, she ended up butting heads with Kanzaki in this arc so much, right? Because it's, no, I have to, this is my territory, right? I can't have people leave, I can't have people defect. And then, when Onizuka finally comes in, that's why she's so stubborn. It's because you can't take this from me too.
Right. That is an interesting way to look at it. The territorial aspect is something that I hadn't considered, because more recently, before this, Aizawa was dormant. Yeah. Aizawa did nothing.
That's true.
So what I think it is something like you're saying in the considering these other students as vassals, basically.
Right, yeah.
And she's like, I've lost a huge percentage of my territory via not having these vassals on my side.
That's right.
So I need to strike back and I have to go cut off the head, otherwise they'll never join my side again.
Right.
So she goes for it, and I do think the territorial part is only some of it, because we still don't know what happened in elementary school.
Yes.
And I think there's a very real possibility that did I say elementary school? I keep saying elementary school. I meant to say last year's school. Anyways, because they're third years
in middle school.
Although
I think it happened before they went into middle school because
I don't think so.
Because they maybe
no, it was last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been saying elementary school this whole time, and like, no, that's not what it was. But
okay.
Anyway, the aspect of that is something that is this vindictive hatred, hatred.
Yeah.
And this goes beyond like, I need more territory. This is I burn your territory. I salt your territory.
Exactly.
I make it so that you can't grow here again. Anything.
I drink the blood of my enemies from their skulls. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am curious. To see Aizawa kind of versus the school. Now, what I mean by that is that we have actually not seen Aizawa be that nasty to anyone, I think, except maybe Fuyutsuki, and even then, not really. It's only Onizuka.
Right.
So I want to see Aizawa basically on the defensive, where it's not that they're attacking her, it's that she's realizing she has nothing left to attack with.
Right. The fights. Why are you still fighting?
Right. So she ends up lashing out even more, basically chaotically, and just kind of causing trouble.
Yeah.
And that is my prediction here, snowballs into a thing of where her parents actually have to end up getting involved because the teachers are like, Aizawa is having a lot of issues and stuff. That kind of snaps maybe some of their family out of their weird state or whatever.
Sure.
Brings them all together, but Aizawa brings the problems there as well. Comes to school one day. Onizuka, helps her. And then she ends up taking the lessons that Onizuka taught her back to her family, and then they end up having a very wholesome and happy kind of transition period where they're honest with each other as family and their work to make it better. I literally think that could be her entire arc right there, just based off of what they did this episode.
I just want to see something that feels like another sledgehammer scene from the first episode, because that was so fantastic. I kind of
sledgehammer. Oh my God.
I kind of want it to be something where Onizuka ends up helping her with the whole thing with teachers and school and stuff.
Sure.
And then once that happens, and once she sort of is like, okay, then basically in the aftermath of that or something, she ends up opening up about her home life, right? And then something about that happens. Now, maybe that would be too similar to the first episode, so they're not going to do that.
Yeah. Because I think the first episode has literally nothing to do.
Oh yeah,
canon,
it was,
but it probably was used as an inspiration at some point to do some kind of little mini story arc, and I can see it working very well for Aizawa.
It set up the tone of the show and everything, and I think canon wise it did work, because then Onizuka had the whole thing of needing to get to this school and stuff.
Sure, I just have no care about whether or not it's canon or not.
No. Right, because it's the whole point is that it's a standalone episode and it's just there, and there you go.
Yeah, it's probably a meta thing of this is what was shown to people to pitch the the story.
Yeah, it started as some kind of one shot sort of thing or something, and
possibly. I mean, I know there's a manga that's based off of. We have a lot of
stupid amount of it. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do with Aizawa, because I feel like it's finally started.
Oh, sure.
The healing process for her has finally started. The stubbornness and the walls have started to give. And now we just have to see where the rest of it goes.
Yeah. All right. So y'all, it's a wonderful episode of Onizuka.
Oh yeah, absolutely crazy.
Onizuka.
Yep.
Just crazy. Yeah. So if you want to see the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about stories or just hang out in general and chat about whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.